Welcome to the Love Kanika podcast. My name is Kanika,
My name is Vanita.
and we are back for another show. If you are new to the channel, which you possibly are, because it's kind of the new channel, a new podcast, if you don't mind subscribing or liking the video, we would appreciate it because we can use all the help that we could get as we grow the show. And I want to welcome you. Thank you for tuning in. We do the show every Wednesday, usually around 7:30. We're a little early tonight, just a couple of minutes, but we are here. So seven every night, every Wednesday, 7:30, sometimes on the weekend. If you hit the notification, you'll be notified when we do go live. Again,
Yep,
thank you for joining. Okay, today we're going to talk about this video. First of all, before we start, how are you, V?
I'm good.
How's your
Good.
week?
It's pretty decent. It seemed like it's, I don't know if I should say going slower. I keep
Really?
thinking it's like Thursday for some reason. And I'm like, oh, no, it's Wednesday. We doing the show. It's Wednesday.
Really? I think I
Yeah.
thought that it was going fast. I was like, "Oh, guys, Wednesday, y'all really got to do the show tonight." I've been thinking it be going by fast. I don't know. Maybe it's me.
No, no. For me, I'm a little off this week. I feel like it should be Thursday instead of Wednesday for some
We
reason,
all
but
we almost there. We
we
almost there.
are. We are.
Yeah. So we're going to review this video that I came across on TikTok that I thought was very, very interesting. I sent it to Vanita, And we decided that we would talk about what he said in the video on the show because it was so interesting. And it's something that she and I have talked about over the years. So we thought it would be cool to bring this discussion to the show. So let me go ahead and play the video that we're talking about. I have to play it a couple of times so um you won't miss what he's saying. Hold on a second. Let me share screen. Uh, okay. All right. Can all right. Let's see. Can we see it?
Yeah.
You can see it. Okay. Let's see.
It's on the screen.
Is it taking up the whole screen? Yeah, it
It
is.
is taking up the whole screen.
So
Yep.
here we go. Okay, so here we go. All right, here we go. I'm gonna play it.
And what's the title of this show before we start?
Why women don't want? Oh, it went to another screen. Hold on. You know what it never was? Hold on. Let me go back. Oh, so here it is. It's called "Why Women Don't Want Kids."
Okay.
So, okay,
If I was a woman, I wouldn't want to have a child. Like, why would I want to have a child? I don't need to have a child. I don't need to have a man. I don't need to pretend that I'm in love. I don't need to pretend that I want to be a mother. I don't need to stay at home and play giggle with a little child who's just another slave in the system. I don't have to do any of this shit. Why should I do that? Why should I waste my resources doing this when I can? There's other games that are much more fun that are available for me.
Mhm.
Like,
that was funny.
why? And don't tell me I will find fulfillment because my mother didn't find fulfillment. My grandmother didn't find fulfillment. And that's why I'm the byproduct of their lack of fulfillment. So I am, as I'm talking as a woman, right? I'm the byproduct of my mom, my grandmother, and all these lineages of women that came before me. And I'm the byproduct of their discontent. And then you tell me I should do the same thing as they did. Well, quite clearly it didn't work out. So why I should do this? What's the point? How's that going to fulfill me? And the only reason I did that before, or a couple of generations ago, is because the zoo required me, through its ordained religious priests and its science of the time, which was religion, that imposes us to do that and gave us, this is what you are as a woman. You're supposed to give birth, and you as a man are supposed to go work in the field like a donkey. This was ordered by the zookeepers in order for us to create more slaves so that we can build the zoo and make the zoo structure increase and grow and grow and grow. So I didn't really want to have a child. I was obliged to have a child. It was what I did because there's nothing else to do. And that was what was told to me to do, even though it may match my biology. I didn't necessarily want to have a child. What for? What's in it for me? If I was a woman, I wouldn't want to have a
Play it
child.
one more time.
Why would I want to have a child? I don't need to have a child. I don't need to have a man. I don't need to pretend that I'm in love. I don't need to pretend that I want to be a mother. I don't need to stay at home and play giggle with a little child who's just another slave in the system. I don't have to do any of this shit. Why should I do that? Why should I waste my resources doing this when I can? There's other games that are much more fun that are available for me to play. Why? And don't tell me I will find fulfillment because my mother didn't find fulfillment. My grandmother didn't find fulfillment. And that's why I'm the byproduct of their lack of fulfillment. So I am, as I'm talking as a woman, right? I'm the byproduct of my mom, my grandmother, and all these lineages of women that came before me. And I'm the byproduct of their discontent. And then you tell me I should do the same thing as they did. Well, quite clearly it didn't work out. So why I should do this? What's the point? How's that going to fulfill me? And the only reason I did that before, or a couple of generations ago, is because the zoo required me, through its ordained religious priests and its science of the time, which was religion, that imposes us to do that and gave us, this is what you are as a woman. You're supposed to give birth, and you as a man are supposed to go work in the field like a donkey. This was ordered by the zookeepers in order for us to create more slaves so that we can build the zoo and make the zoo structure increase and grow and grow and grow. So I didn't really want to have a child. I was obliged to have a child. It was what I did because there's nothing else to do. And that was what was told to me to do, even though it may match my biology. I didn't necessarily want to have a child. What for? What's in it for me?
Okay.
Hmm,
Damn.
exactly. He
Woo!
said the zookeepers.
Woo! That was brutal. What
It
do you
is.
think about what he said, V?
Realistically, everything he was saying was accurate to me. What do we get out of it?
So the topic of tonight is basically the question: is motherhood fulfilling, really fulfilling for women? So we're gonna talk about that. And I thought that video, honestly, probably was one of the
Realest ones I ever seen.
realest videos probably out there, because
Mhm.
I've been told the same thing, um, from women about how it's not what they thought it would be.
You're
Meaning,
sold a false ass dream at the end of the day.
let me ask you something. Did you have something else in your mind as far as what the experience would be when you had your child?
To be honest, I really didn't have a thought process of what it would be.
Oh, you didn't even think about it.
I really didn't. The most I thought about it is I remember society saying that they assist, they help. And once my daughter came and they told me that I made too much money to get WIC, to get milk for her from them, I felt like I had been scammed. So y'all
Yeah.
lie. Y'all don't help. Y'all don't help. You got a cap to your helping, is what you're saying. You're saying that I'm not supposed to work and support myself and try to support this child, and you're still going to assist. What you're saying to me is you got to have nothing, nothing for yourself, and then I'll help you.
Mm,
That's
let's
really what
see.
they're saying.
I think, to what the guy said on the video. He said a couple of things. He said that stood out to me. He said, "I didn't want to have a. Most women didn't want to have a child. I was told they were told to have a child.
Yep, that's
That,
fact. That's every day.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's
if
true.
if society's not telling you, your parents telling you, your mamas half the time want to be a grandma for some odd reason because they've already raised their kids. So why they don't want to live their best life is beyond me. But hey, I guess some people are made to just keep raising kids. Maybe that's their lot in life. But
Yeah.
hey,
I,
who am I?
women are programmed to breed. And a lot of women think it's biology. They think, well, just want a child, just feel it. But what really be going on a lot of times is you've been programmed since you were a little girl to believe this is what you got to do. Because I read some of the comments when I came across this video. I read some of the comments uh from it. It was thousands of women commenting. And it was so many women who were saying they wish they had a known they didn't have to do it. I thought that was deep.
Well, I think part of the issue is besides society from a young age, as you have said many a times on many a shows, um, they push it on you so much. As women, we're nurturers. The
Yes,
problem is that nurturing part, we're not taught that who you should actually nurture is yourself first
absolutely.
and put that energy on yourself. Society teaches you that you got to give it out to everybody else.
Absolutely.
So that's
And
our biggest disconnect right now.
the society, which I like to call the matrix,
Hmm.
has made women the sacrificial lambs.
Hmm.
And because this role has been given to women for so long, this centuries probably, at this point, women have just kind of accepted. I don't even think most women are consciously aware of any of this.
They're
Meaning
not.
that you've been all of these roles you're playing, whether they're another whatever, and they're not negative roles. They're beautiful roles if it's what you really want to do.
That's
That's
what I
not
was about to
thing.
say. Yep.
That's my thing. If
I
it's
agree.
for you, because everything ain't for everybody, but the matrix tries to make everybody fit into one box,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
And because you're a woman, you're supposed to do this. And this notion that you're supposed to do something because you're, woman or man or whatever situation may be, has made a lot of people unhappy. It has made a lot of people make choices for their life that they didn't even want.
Very true.
That's why he said the forces that D told you you had to. The religious people, the religious society who were ruled back in the day. They made these rules to say you must do this, you must do that. And think about this, guys. If society were to be honest with women about what motherhood really is like the work and the sacrifice that goes into it, a lot of women may not sign up. So they gotta paint a
Yep.
picture in order to keep you breeding so they can keep society going, whether you
Exactly.
want to or not. That's why I say women have been kind of put in the sacrificial lamb because nobody put pressure on men. Men get to do whatever they want to do.
That's
They
true.
can not have kids. They can walk away from their kids. They can treat women like shit. They can do whatever they want to do, and it's just kind of accepted.
Mm-hmm.
The you gotta breathe. You gotta dress a certain kind of way. You can't enjoy sex. You can't do this and that. Men
Walking this tightrope
men gave women all of these restrictions
rules.
and
Yep.
rules, and women just acquiesce to them. But I think it's
Mm-hmm.
because there's no consciousness or awareness that you don't have to follow nobody's rules but your own. Like you follow what God tells you to do. And listen, I'm not against motherhood for women. My opinion is I don't understand why you would want to sacrifice 20 years of your life. But who am I, right? Who am I? Some women are made to do it. Some women are born to do it. Some women thrive. I know some women who are thriving in motherhood. It has not stopped them. It has not messed up their flow. It has not messed, their relationship. They're thriving. But then I know some women who motherhood has beat them down. It has really taken a toll on them mentally, physically,
Yep.
emotionally, all of that. That's why awareness and consciousness of your programming, like or like to talk about a lot on this show, is so important. So you won't make decisions based on what society say, and you're making decisions based on what you want for your life. Unfortunately, when you're younger, you don't know nothing else to do but to go by what society say a lot of times. So a lot of times you young, you 19, 18, you think the next thing in life is to try to get into a relationship and start a family because that's what you've been sold all your life.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing you don't even know who you are, you don't know shit about life, you ain't went through shit, nothing. You're not really prepared to take on that role of trying to raise somebody else when you still trying to figure out who you are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why a lot of kids grow up and they be so messed up the way that they are mentally and emotionally because they had parents that had them way too young. You didn't know anything. And
Exactly.
and that's
That's why the
because
grandparents always tend to raise them a lot of times,
thank
definitely in our community.
thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God for grandparents because who knows how jacked up it would be if grandparents didn't step in and help with these kids that we're having way too early, way too soon, way too soon. Right? It's okay to make a winning. It's okay to make a choice for yourself. You ain't got to try to oblige to society, your parents, your religion, none of that. Because a lot of times people's family be pressuring them into, having kids. People can't even get
Yes.
married good before people are talking about when are y'all gonna have kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, society be putting the pressure on people to reproduce when they may not want to, or it may not be the right time for them in the moment.
Exactly.
So everything he was saying in the video is 100% the case. So many kids got, I need to went and told me they didn't even know. They didn't even think about terminating for they didn't even know they could.
I was about to say that's what I've heard. A lot of them say they didn't know they could.
Yeah, they
They
didn't
thought they
even.
didn't have an option.
They thought they did not have the option, and that's because the programming is so deep in this 3D world that we're in, like the physical realm, because it's spiritual realm and there's a physical realm. It is. They want you to be. Y'all seen the movie The Matrix? They want you to be a robot. They want you to be. They want you to be like, as he said in the video, a slave to
A
the
slave
system,
to system. Exactly.
and they want you to produce more slaves to the system. And again,
Exactly.
I'm not calling having a baby bringing it to a slave. The ultimately, when you do, you're the you kind of we kind of are. We have to go to, certain things you have to do in this matrix to make it. You got to go to work unless happen to have rich parents and stuff like that. So, you we kind of are attached to the system, if you will. We kind of are slaves to the. That's true.
In order to survive, you have to be, but know
Yeah,
that you have a choice when it comes to kids.
you have
You
a
have a
choice.
choice.
You can live your life however you want to live it. You don't have
Mhm.
to live your life according to, even in relationships. I posted this post on Facebook is sometime last year, I think. And uh I was talking about how you don't have to, your relationship doesn't have to be the traditional relationship that everybody else has, the rules. You can't do this, you can't do that. You
Hmm.
can make your own. Y'all do know you can make your own rules, right? You and that
You most
person
definitely
can
can.
make your own rules. You don't have to try to fit into the 3D matrix of what because what's happening is somebody told y'all this is what a relationship look like, and y'all just all said, okay, we'll do that. You know what?
Well, women said, okay, we'll do that. Men ain't said it. That's the problem.
I'm glad you corrected me. Cause they do what they want to do. And I'm not mad, I'm not mad at men, to be honest. I admire the fact that men live their life for them. I
Oh,
do.
that's real
I
talk.
admire that. I admire that men don't give a damn about you or nobody else. They're gonna choose them. Women need to take a note out of
Yeah.
their book
They follow
because
their own rules.
they ain't sacrificing nothing for nobody ever.
Yep.
Not gonna happen.
Hmm.
They don't care who don't like it.
Yep.
And I think more women should take just a page out of their book and stop being so sacrificial of yourself, and then feeling some type of way about it when there's no parade, trophy, or reward at the end.
Dang, parade trophy or
It's
reward.
just not. There's no trophy or for sacrificing
Some
yourself.
brownie points. No, none of that.
Well, I didn't. I stayed with you, and I did this, and I didn't go here, and I didn't go, and I did this. That's a choice. That's on you. And I want women to understand that because we like to win it. We like to live in the world of, well, it shouldn't be like that, but it is like that. We got to get out
Sure.
what it should be, the fantasy. Well, you're right. It really should be like that, but it ain't like that because we're in the matrix. We got to live in what is going on right now, right? And most of us, to be completely honest, are having these babies because we want a family with these men. Most, regardless of what women say,
Facts.
women want a family. It's not just I want to be a mom. It's the man got to come with the package. It's a package
Man.
deal. That's why so much
I don't.
drama.
How many do you know that say I want to be a? I don't hear that often at all. And
Women
if
want
you
a
think
family.
about it, and I know I've said this on other shows before, how many people do you know that plan having their kids? The kids that's in this world right now, your friends, you yourself. Was your child planned?
You the only one I know that planned their child.
There you go.
I don't know that anybody else did. Oh, yes, I do. I got one other girlfriend because she went through in vitro to have her children. She planned her child. But y'all the only two women I know that plan their children. Everybody
Because
else
most
is
don't.
most people don't plan their children, and
They do not.
we can see that the state of the community. We can see that. We can see that. I mean, we can see that. We take this thing. It's just like, well, I just want to have my baby. Most of the time, you just ain't got nothing. It's nothing else. Like he said it. He said there's nothing else for her to
Just to
do.
do.
Women don't
He did
believe
say
there's
that.
nothing else to do because no one teaches women to go after their passion and their purpose.
Mm-hmm.
The system don't want you to do that because there's power in that. There's freedom in that. There's nothing no scarier to the matrix than a free thinking woman.
Hmm.
A woman who don't care about what they're getting validation from men. A woman who don't have to have a title of wife to feel validated. There's nothing scarier for the matrix because then they can't control you.
Mm-hmm.
And the system wants control, so you can keep breeding and working, you know, in
Yep.
whatever job they give you to work at, right?
In
So
whatever capacity, whether it's
in
making
whatever
money or
capacity,
making kids,
making money or making kids,
don't matter to them.
and you
They
in
gonna
a
get
lot
money either way it go, because that's really what they're
exactly,
out for.
basically, and you would be the one who's suffering,
Exactly. They don't
not them.
care.
And again, there's nothing wrong with motherhood. I think motherhood can be a beautiful thing in the right situation with the right mate, with the right two people who are whole and healed and ready to sacrifice, to make the sacrifice to raise this little human. I think it can be a beautiful thing, but the problem is most people are not bringing kids into the world under that circumstance.
Not at all.
It ain't nothing like that. And then the day to get here, and it's just constant chaos and drama between you and the daddy who didn't want it.
Facts.
Constant chaos. Constant chaos. He told you he didn't want it, but we decide to have it because whatever our reasons are. And then the baby grows up in this chaos, and then here's the result: what we see in the community right now.
Exactly.
And again, I don't even blame women for it. I believe that a lot of this has to do with the programming. It's the matrix. A lot of women didn't even stand a chance. You get programming, you get low self-esteem, you get no daddies in the house to validate these little girls. They instantly gonna start looking for validation when they're teens. And women don't understand, you don't understand at that age, sex is not love. You don't understand that. So you
That's so
think in
true.
order for him to love me, I got to have sex with him. And then you have sex with him thinking I'm going to have a family, get pregnant. And it just goes awry from there. And this happens over and over, particularly in this community, because there's no dads in the homes. There's
Exactly.
no dad in the homes to protect these little girls or to validate them. So we keep on perpetuating the cycle because we as women got complete control over this.
All
We
day.
like we like to blame men. We like to say it's them. They don't want to step up. They don't want to do this. They don't do. But we keep on having their children
Exactly. Exactly.
when they have said it, they have begged, they have plead. They don't want to do it. They don't want to be a daddy unless they want to be one. But we keep on doing it and then denied at the result.
Yep.
And I'm not saying don't have children if that's what you want to do, but pick a man who want it too. That's all I'm saying.
That way.
Just
Yes.
pick a man who want it.
Make plans. If that's what you're really trying to do, make a plan about it and have a
Absolutely.
conversation on it.
Yeah, make sure y'all are clear on what the decision you two are about to make and the journey you two are about to embark on together.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody's gonna suffer. The kids gonna suffer, the mama gonna suffer, and
Yes.
the daddy gonna be mad.
It's a combo package.
Everybody in a situation they don't want to be in.
Yep.
Unless you talk about it. Again, ladies, make sure he want the kid too. Because you're doing yourself and these kids a disservice to pick a daddy that
Yes.
don't want it. Teach your daughters and granddaughters this. Yeah, it's done for us. We old.
Yes.
So teach your
Please
daughters and granddaughters. Y'all not talking to them.
tell the truth. Stop telling them to have babies. Can
I
y'all
don't think
please
they
stop doing that?
I don't think they know nothing else though. I think that's the only thing women really know to do is to
So let's search for
reproduce.
something else to do that'll fill your time besides that. And we're not saying don't deal with men at all.
Yeah.
We're simply saying protect yourself, protect the unborn child.
Yes. This is unnecessary drama because you want to stay connected to this man. And because that's the truth y'all ain't telling. These are extensions of the men. You want to stay
Period.
connected to, because I did. I didn't go through with my pregnancy because I wasn't. Re, reality.
But
Look, I'm like, look, don't be dumb, Kanique. And that was for me. I'm not calling you out now. That's what you want to do, but for me, that would have been a dumb move for me to have a baby down there who didn't want it, because I didn't want to be no single mom. I
mm-hmm,
didn't want him to take that. I didn't see the point in it, to be honest. But I understand that a lot of women feel like they gotta do it. There's nothing else to do. So much. A lot of y'all are sitting on purposes that could make you millionaires, but you constantly
mm-hmm,
doing the matrix stuff. You're constantly trying to get in relation to the wrong relationships. They are beautiful, but we spend a lot of time chasing them as women, too much time, and then the other time we spend having kids. There's other things to do besides chase men and have kids, ladies. There's traveling, there's reading, there's working out, there's trying to
there's
find your purpose,
concerts, there's comedy shows,
spending
there's
time with friends.
girlfriends,
It's so many
friends.
other things to do. Men and kids are a beautiful thing if if it's the right person in the right season of your life and you're just not doing it trying to fill a void
Exactly.
of loneliness, sadness,
Mm-hmm,
depression. A lot of women are just lonely. I guess because I have a lot of friends, I've never felt lonely, and I have a pretty big family, and we're extremely close. So I've never felt lonely. But there's a lot of loneliness out there, and I didn't realize that, until I got a bit older. Particularly when the invention of the internet, I realized, how there's a lot of alone people out there. So
mm-hmm,
I understand why, some women will, try to get into a relationship because they don't really have, anybody else. That's why I wish women were able to make friends a bit more as adults than we
I
kind of
agree.
do, because that'll combat the loneliness that a lot of women feel. But a lot of women don't feel comfortable making friends with women when they're grown for whatever their reasons may be, it might be valid or whatever. I don't know. But
Mm-hmm,
I wish women, that's why women would get along better. That's why I try to cultivate an environment where women, when they come around me and my friends, they feel safe and they feel welcome and warm because
exactly.
I don't want to perpetuate, the stereotype that women can't get along
Mm-hmm.
because we can get along and we can be
We
there for one
definitely
another.
can. We
Mhm.
definitely can.
Yeah, I think you and I have talked about this a lot as far as, women and friendship. And because I did you haven't you heard that all the time women don't get along? We don't.
Many a times.
Yeah,
I wanted to. I early on, I used to mantra out of my own mouth. Well, women are messy, or women are this, or women are that. So I
yeah,
myself used to say it. So I had
yeah,
to get out of that mindset. Now, mind you, I did have a couple of girlfriends that I was pretty close to. I was
yeah,
real close to actually. Um, so it's not like I've never had friends, but I still used to rattle off that same mantra, and I can't even really tell you why, because I don't. It's not like anybody had slighted me or done something to me. To tell
yeah,
you the truth.
yeah. I think it's been said so much. It's just kind of like passed down type of thing, if you will.
Yeah, you just end up saying it, and
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
what am I really saying this for? Like, if you really think back, who has slighted you where you have this perception, really
yeah,
truly?
yeah. Absolutely.
And I'd
Yeah,
have to tell you, I didn't have any situations where I should have been saying that.
yeah. That's real talk. Women can get along, and um, now I have a pretty um I would say large group of girlfriends, and we hang out and we all get along perfectly.
Yep.
and it's always a good time. And we try to be there for each other. And I think again, that's why it's part of the reason why I've never felt loneliness. That I can understand it. If you don't have a bunch of friends and a family like like I do. But I will say, ladies, having one good friend is it has. I don't know how I don't know how I would have did this life without them. That's how much they've been there to me, through some of my worst when men were nowhere around. It was
Yep.
my girlfriends who came and were, by my side as I went through different things in life. So
Yep.
if you can find you a good friend, definitely open your heart to that for sure.
Definitely. Most
Because
definitely.
yeah, it definitely makes a big difference. And again, I don't want anyone to think that I I'm saying don't have kids. If that's what you want to do what you want to do. Just make sure you pick a partner that's going to want to do this with you.
And you're making
Yeah.
a choice for yourself. It has
Yes.
nothing to do with him. It
With
really has
him,
to do with yourself.
absolutely.
Because even if he says that he does want the kid and you guys end up having the kid, if you've never had kids before, you have this ideal in your mind. And,
Yeah.
and when reality hits, it hits hard and it's no going back. So
Yeah.
he may throw deuces on you.
Yeah.
He may be like, I don't want this anymore. Even after getting married. You guys
Yeah.
could get married and had a conversation and say, yeah, we planning, this child.
Yeah.
You want him to want the child to, at least, if unfortunately for any unfortunate reason you guys aren't together, that man is still going to be there for his child. And normally if they wanted the child, they're going to be there for their kid, even if y'all not together no
Absolutely.
more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So to his point about his mother and grandmother, they weren't fulfilled. Well,
Hmm.
again, it goes back to feeling like you have to do it versus you want to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So doing something that you feel like you got to do it, then you get in it, and it's like this ain't what I thought was gonna be. Would be unfulfilling.
Yeah.
It would be unfulfilling. So what he said is true, and it's not everyone. And like I said, there are some women who are thriving in motherhood. They still looking good. They still got every bright energy is good. But there are
Hmm.
some women that it has really taken a toll on them. The stress, the worry, the doing it alone, the struggle, all of that, it has really taken a toll on them. So just be sure that you're doing it because you're ready for the journey, you're ready for the sacrifice, and you're not doing it because society tells you you got to do it, or
Exactly.
your mom of them, or your religion, and all of these things that are telling you what you got to do, or you're getting a certain age. That's another thing.
Yeah, that's another one.
You finna be 30. 30 ain't old.
It's so not old, y'all. Please.
30's young. I,
Sheesh.
I mean, I should think 30 was old.
I
God.
did too.
What I would is to go back to 30, girl. It
If
is not
only.
old at all.
Not at all.
And then if you're unsure, if you're on the fence, pray about it. If you're
I
unsure
agree
what
with
you
that.
want to do, if it's for you, pray about it.
Hmm.
Pray about it. Do your research. Listen, see, talk to people who trust to be honest. Because a lot of women don't keep it real for fear of being judged, but find somebody who who will be honest about it. Do your research,
And
pray about it.
get to the nitty gritty of it, the day and day, the in and out, the 24 hours, 48 hours, in days. Talk to them on that, not the pictures that you see on Instagram, not the baby bump pictures that you see, not the screenshots of the family. It all look good, but when them screenshots are over with, you don't really know what's happening in them households.
That's real talk.
So get to the nitty gritty of what it's really, 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 really like.
And do what's best for you. And just know,
Exactly.
let me say this, just know It may be fulfilling for you as a woman, and it may not. Some women it's fulfilling for
Yeah.
them. They are born and bred in others. There are
Yes.
other women who, like the video, the guy said in the video, it's not fulfilling for them. So make
Hmm.
sure that you think about the choice because there's no going back.
It's just not
And
in that choice.
you don't want to be no bitter mama. You don't want to be no
You don't.
mama, that hates getting up every day because she got to do this job called motherhood. You don't want to do that to you
Or
or to your child.
even supporting the kids because they feel your energy on where you are. And
They
if you're
do.
not speaking to them on how you really feel, you don't know what their perception is of it.
Yeah,
But it's not the easiest thing. And it's not like it was when we were coming up. We can even just say on when they get in school. Nowadays, the schools are sending home a lot of homework that has nothing to do with these kids. These are projects you're going to be doing.
mm. Yeah.
So
Think
you
about
have
all
to
of that.
be looking at all those type of things. So think about it. You at work all day, you come home from work, you have to feed the child. So it's a are you going in the kitchen and cooking? And then this project is due by when? And these projects are not the easiest projects. It ain't a just throw it together and go on. They be
Yeah,
elaborate projects,
absolutely. It's a lot.
elaborate homework. So be prepared for that.
It's a lot that goes into it that Instagram ain't gonna show you, right?
Exactly.
So just be ready for it. Do your research, pray about it. Make sure you're ready for a journey because it's not motherhood for most women is a lot of work. It's not just pretty pictures and kisses.
It's
And
not.
they be so cute. So I
They
understand.
do.
I
And
understand
they
why
smell
women want.
so good as
Oh my
babies.
God,
Ooh.
they are just adult. Like, and that's another reason why I didn't have a child because I want my child to stay 9 months forever.
And they do not stay there, ma'am.
No, they don't. So
No.
I'm like, "Ugh, what am I gonna do with it when it turns 7?
Parent them. You gonna have to
I'm
keep going, ma'am. You
not
can't
gonna
just
want it
stop.
then. I want it to be
Mm,
9 months forever.
nah, well then you definitely don't want to.
And it's so crazy because the baby stage is the shortest stage.
It is. It's the shortest stage out of all of them.
Yeah, they stay babies the least amount of time. And that's exactly the reason why I would want to have it. It's for it to be a baby, not to be an 8-year-old. Yes. I love them when they're
Whew.
little. I love them when they're little. But it's all the other stuff when they get big that I didn't want to deal with. So I had to make a decision. You know,
Exactly.
I had to make a decision. But I do love them though. They're so cute. And, you know, I like to keep other people's so I can give them back.
Babies. Exactly.
Yes, yes.
I
But if
definitely
it's
do that. I got you all day long.
yes, and if it's something you want to do, definitely pray about it. Make sure you're ready for the journey, just for your sake and for your baby's sake. And
Hmm.
make sure you really, choose. You never know because it's a gamble either way, but do your best to choose a partner who wants to take the journey with you.
I
Do
agree.
your best. There's no guarantees. We all know you can even get married and stuff can fall apart. But do
Yep.
your best to try to, if you're going to make that journey, because
I would say
it's forever.
overly communicate with him to get a clear understanding on is this really what you're trying to do?
Yes, because it's forever.
Hmm.
Forever, never, 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 never. Till you leave. And think about it, depending on what type of child you might have a child, you never know. You got to be committed because your child could have a disability and depending on you for life. So make
Exactly.
sure you're ready for all of these things that could possibly happen that women don't think about.
Exactly. Again, I would say have several conversations with him because sometimes men will tell you they want kids just to sleep with you. But once they get that first one out their system, they'll start telling you the truth.
Yeah,
So overly ask,
I
overly.
on some real shit, ladies, I wouldn't do it without. And I know it, people say marriage is no guarantee, and it's not no guarantee. But I wouldn't do it without a full commitment into it. I wouldn't just
Mhm.
do it on no boyfriend and no fiance. That means nothing to me. And that
That's true. They
until
don't.
they say, okay, I'm gonna even if they leave later or whatever situation may be, make them commit to it before you commit to giving them a human. All right.
Mhm.
And if you don't want to do it, find somebody that wants to. You don't, of course, you don't have to do it that way. That I wouldn't recommend doing it without that. I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't. Particularly if you don't want to, if you want to have a better chance of having someone to help and assist. It ain't always that, I know that there's a better chance. There's no guarantees in life for anything, for any
It's
of
just
us.
not.
But it does give you a better chance. So to his video, do I believe is what he said is true? Yes. Do I believe it's unfulfilling for everyone? No.
No.
There are some women who are definitely fulfilled in motherhood, and there are women who not. But the notion that it's fulfilling for everyone and everyone feels is unconditional love, and no,
That's not
that's not
true.
true. That's not true. So take that into consideration when you're making the choice. You are you. You are different. You are not everyone, and every woman is different. So
Exactly.
that's kind of what we wanted to talk about tonight. We about
Yeah.
45 minutes in. So you
Mm.
got any closing remarks?
No, I think we covered a lot
Well,
of it. Again, I would say make sure you think on it, pray on it, you know, really,
yes,
really sit in it before you make the choice.
absolutely. Like Nori said, you can try to weed out the bad apples. Exactly, dear. You can try
Yeah.
your best to
Hmm.
weed out the bad apples. We know that you can't guarantee anything, but you can do your part and do your best to,
Exactly.
to make sure uh you try to present, a united
United
parent,
front.
yeah,
Yeah.
parent environment for your dating the best of your ability if you're going, to become a mom. So that's what
Exactly.
I'm saying. That thank you, dear. Yeah,
Yeah.
you always, Nori, you always support, and I will always remember this for sure. You're always here to
Yes.
support um Nee and Vanita. So I appreciate you, dear.
Yes.
The Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everybody tuning in who can watch the playback, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. As always, we do this show every Wednesday at 7:30. We will not be here next Wednesday. We will not be here. We will be out of town.
Yes.
But we will be here the following Wednesday, 7:30.
Hmm.
And we would love for you to join us as always.
Yes.
Again, if you are new, please subscribe because it's a new podcast, new channel. So we would love your support. And thank you again to my lovely co-host as usual. I appreciate you.
Hmm.
And
Welcome.
yeah. Oh,
You
thank
guys
you, dear.
have a
She says,
fabulous night.
yeah, you guys have
Thank you.
fabulous night.
Yes.
And we will, hold on, let me find the thing. We will talk to you not next Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. We will be
Wednesday.
back. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Have a good rest of your week, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Hmm. Good night.